Welcome to Podheim, Jiroc's Valheim podcast. Let's give him the business.
Hey everybody, today is November 29th, 2022. I'm your host, Jiroc the Viking, and joining me today are my fellow Vikings, Gwen the Shield Maiden.
Hi, Gwen the Sick Maiden, more like.
Oh no.
We also have Shield Maiden, Morning Darkness.
Hello.
Hello. And yeah, just the three of us today. And Gwen's off camera because she's not feeling well, but still showed up to do the podcast. Thank you so much, Gwen.
Yay! If my voice survives this,
Gwen the hero.
Now, of course, the question everybody wants to know: is it the COVID?
I don't know. I didn't test. I ran out of tests at home, and I didn't get any more. To be honest, I thought it was more of a cold. But I guess nowadays the Rona also feels like a cold. So who knows? Who knows?
So are you isolating then?
Yeah, I mean, I during the week I'm lame, so I don't have a social life outside of working from home. So I've got to be home anyway. But yeah, it's I think I'll probably avoid doing anything social this weekend as well, just in case. Or try to actually get a test somewhere so I can know if I finally caught the COVID after 2.5 years.
That's right. You've avoided it this whole time.
Yeah, exactly. So who knows?
Yeah. Well, we hope you feel better soon.
Thank you.
So start with, I guess, some quick announcements. Quick. I've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about here. Morning Darkness, do anything interesting over the weekend? Or the last week?
Obviously, in the US, we had the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yes.
And so I hosted Thanksgiving at my house, and I made a turkey that wasn't dry.
Nice.
And due to different restrictions in my house, I did a dairy-free, gluten-free Thanksgiving. And so we had, I had cornbread stuffing, cornbread wild rice stuffing, and green beans with fried onions on top, and Brussels sprouts with turkey bacon. And I made a pecan pie and a couple of pumpkin pies and a chocolate cream pie.
Wow.
That was a disaster. I did all these different things, all of these different substitutes. It was the chocolate cream pie that was like, nope.
No.
And I made bread rolls, everything from scratch. And then we had a second Thanksgiving on Saturday with my husband's family. So yeah, it was fun.
Oh, nice. Yeah, of course, we did Thanksgiving. We always host a couple of our family members, a very small group because we don't have a lot of family in the area, but a few people. I think there were only 5 of us this year. And then that night, Thanksgiving night, which was Thursday, we went and did a Friendsgiving, which there were a lot of people. So there are like 20 or more people there at a friend's house who lives just on the other side of our town.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and I have to say, I was completely stuffed by the time I went to bed because I ate a big lunch and then I went and had another Friendsgiving, ate a big dinner. And just kind of, slept a lot the next day too. It's like belly still full. Well, Gwen, besides getting sick this last week, what else did you do?
What did I do? Last week on Thursday, I think I did go to London, meet up with some colleagues. We all work from home, so we don't get together very often. But we had a small get together for planning for next year, and then the colleague who was organizing had booked a axe throwing thing as a bit of a team building thing in the afternoon. So we went and did that, which was really fun. And yeah, it's my third time axe throwing, and I can confidently say I am just so bad at it.
You never got it. You never got it to stick in the wall or the target.
Yeah, I did a couple of times, but the funny thing is, I had done it a couple of times. The colleague who was organizing had done it a couple of times. Everyone else was doing it for the first time, and I was like still the worst of the group.
Oh no!
The person who had never done it before, one of the people who had never done it before, ended up like winning the mini tournament that we did, which was super impressive. Obviously a born Viking, but yeah, not me. I don't know. The axe just sticks to my hand. I blame my combat training, because we're specifically taught not to let go of our weapons, because obviously we don't want them to be projectiles. It would be dangerous. So I blame that to be the cause of me being just so bad at axe throwing.
Well,
but yeah, so that was fun.
Combat training then. Not the axe training.
Yeah, hopefully. So did that on Thursday, and I kind of have a feeling that whatever I caught, I might have caught it during that day, because the trains there and back were just so packed. I was like a sardine on the way back. There were loads of train cancellations and so on, making it basically like everyone had to cram themselves on that one train that was running. And it was such a horrible journey, because I literally had to really push myself in. And so I was, like in a really small confined space, no space to move or anything. And then 10 minutes into the journey, that is supposed to be a 30-minute journey, someone pulled the emergency alarm, which meant that the train had to stop in the middle of the tracks. And obviously no staff could go through, because the train was absolutely packed. So they had to figure out like what was going on. And it was someone who was feeling unwell. It was like a medical emergency. So then they had to reroute the train to stop at the next available station. And basically the whole journey took twice as long as it should have. And I'm like, well, if there was one place that I would have caught whatever I caught, like virus, it would have been on that train journey, just because everyone was so packed and for so long, with no breathing space. So I might have caught something there. But yeah, no, other than that, on the weekend, we had a fun server event that I can talk about a bit later as well.
Yeah. Cool. Well,
what'd you do, Jiroc?
Yeah, well, I went to the Dickens Fair.
I love the Dickens Fair.
Nice.
Yeah, they do it in this giant warehouse space called the Cow Palace in San Francisco. And I don't have pictures of us there, but I do have their press photos here. And so it's very similar.
Nice. It looks so pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want to show some.
Were people dressed up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Lots of people dressed up. And,
that's my criteria for how enjoyable an event is all people dressed up. Yes. Okay, I'll go.
Yeah, because then you get to dress up, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, lots of people dressed up like this. And let's see. So this is like the inside of the big warehouse. So they actually have actors that come out there and do like our players for the day. And then just guests too who come out will wear costumes as well, or bits of costumes, whatever they have. But they actually have characters from the Charles Dickens stories too. That will walk around like the ghost of Christmas.
The ghost
present, I think. And
nice.
I think that's Scrooge right there that she's taking around.
Yeah.
They have shows, which are a lot of fun. They have 3 different places where they do shows inside of there. A lot of fun. Lots of vendors too, selling all kinds of different things.
Yeah.
Just if you need to do some holiday shopping, this is a great place to go to get some original things. Lots of great foods too. I had my what is it, the
The pasty.
Yeah, the pasty.
Yes.
Delicious. I have it once a year there.
Oh yeah.
And I don't have a full outfit for the Dickens Fair yet.
Yet.
Do you have a waistcoat and a top hat? That's all you need.
Yeah. Well, yeah, basically, if you have a coat, that's pretty much that. You could wear a t-shirt or anything under it. But years and years, probably like more than 15 years ago, I started to put together an outfit and then got rid of it for some reason. And,
oh no.
So I have one piece left that I wore this time, and it's this. My
nice
Victorian steampunk hat.
It's a cool hat.
Oh, thank you. It's was going to be one of the contenders for our hat competition, but Gwen wasn't on today. But I thought I'd still show it since I wore it at the Dickens Fair.
I'll catch up next week. I'll do 2 hats.
There you go. You got to do a hat change throughout the episode.
Hey,
yeah,
Jiroc,
exactly.
You know who you should ask to make you a waistcoat?
Who's that?
Oh,
that person over there with the brand new camera. Everybody, see, look how clear and bright and detailed.
Yeah, no, Black Friday sales were wonderful this year. But yeah, no, I have a perfect like blue satin watermarked fabric and everything.
Oh yeah, I would love to get a coat. Yeah, I think I'm going to start putting together an outfit again.
A vest. It's a vest. It would be a vest.
Oh, a vest. Yeah.
Waistcoat, vest, you know.
Yeah, a vest. The shirt is pretty simple, and then a nice jacket because it was actually a little bit cold there. But
yeah,
in certain rooms it gets warm, so you end up shedding layers. But yeah, that was fun, and that goes on. Actually, this is the first year that they did it since COVID started. Because they missed the last 2 years because of COVID. So, yeah. And attendance was a little light on Thanksgiving weekend, which I was surprised by. But hopefully in December, attendance will go back up and people will, start coming back out.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that. And let's see. Oh, we did so we worked with these 2 lovely admins here and some of our other admins where we're putting together a new ecosystem for my Valheim servers because the Mistlands is coming out. So we wanted to do a little bit of reorganization. Gwen did some reorganization of our Discord channel because over the last year, we were just throwing in a new channel for every little thing. So we had probably more than 100 channels between text and voice. Wouldn't you say, Gwen?
probably not far. Yeah.
Yeah. So
maybe not 100. Maybe that's a bit an exaggeration. Maybe it was more like 30 or 40. Too many.
Oh, I think I could count 30 or 40 even now. Not counting all the archive channels.
Oh man.
But yeah, so we had a lot anyways, whatever that number was. And I think we've probably reduced it by at least half the channels now and maybe even can cut down a few more. But we also reorganized our servers or for the new servers that are going to launch, we wanted to put together 3 things to offer to make it very clear to any new members what they have available to them. Because we do have members who come and they get a little confused by the different things that we offer because we offer a lot. And I put them into 3 categories and I call them this like 3 in the ecosystem of servers. So the first ecosystem of servers we have is called the permanent vanilla servers. These servers are permanently running, never reset. And the main one, the legacy one that started my very first one is called the Viking Playground. The new one that we're going to launch is called the Mistlands server. I don't know. We might change that name because it might be the all new biomes server. We'll have to see, but it's going to be a new Mistlands server. We use mods to upgrade other biomes because the Viking Playground, the original server, we plan to upgrade the new biomes in that one as well with mods. So they're not just those empty areas. So we have the Viking Playground. We have a new Mistlands server, both permanent. And then to complement both of those servers, we have the resource server. So it's a server that resets every 2 weeks normally. Sometimes we do 4 weeks if we have some kind of special thing going on there. And then your main character can jump in between all three of those servers. So that's the one ecosystem. If you're interested in building and you want permanent server, you want your stuff to never go away, at least for the life of the game and the community. You have those three servers and you can jump in between all three of them. And that's that one. So then the other ecosystem we have is the permanent modded server. And that's our Jotun Quest server, which launched last month. And it's just the server that has mods. So the people who like to play with mods to add to the content, that we have a full server for that. And actually right now, while people are waiting for the Mistlands, that's what most people are playing on. And you're doing a little bit of, are you doing much modded these days, Morning Darkness, or are you playing the Mistlands PTB? It's got all your time.
Well, because the Mistlands PTB has my husband's attention, I am pretty much 100% on the Mistlands PTB. Although I have to say that as much as like the mods are cool and add so much dimension to the game, anything other than quality of life mods, I tend to get a little overwhelmed by. Mm-hmm. And so I've joined 2 different heavily modded servers, and I don't go back to it. I get intimidated. I get overwhelmed. I don't know what it is, but I don't always stick around for modded servers. I have a little bit of a hard time. I don't know.
Well, it does add lots of new layers, and you kind of have to get really invested in those new layers to make the most out of the system that's there. And yeah, if you're doing a lot of different things or you don't have a large time commitment, you can feel a little left behind or a little bit lost.
Yeah, that's 100% what's going on. I do not have the time commitment that I could provide before with my kid and with, you know, my health being the way it is. And so, yeah, it's I guess, yeah, modded is a little bit challenging for me to really dive into hardcore.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's definitely people, Gwen too, she doesn't prefer modded, but there are lots of people that do. And if that is your thing, we have a whole ecosystem just for that, a server just for that. And
it's fun and it's cool. And there are so many new things. Like I was on there and I was just like, oh my gosh, and the quests, and you get a dog, and you know.
Yeah, you can get a dog as a pet early on in the game. Yep.
So yeah, all kinds of great stuff.
Yeah, so our modded server, as she mentioned, it's got probably more than 100 new creatures and lots of creatures in the ocean, which is fun. So when you're out there sailing, you know, it doesn't feel empty anymore. It feels challenging. The jewel crafting system, which allows you to upgrade armor and weapons. A lot of people are really loving that. New professions.
Oh yeah, the professions are so cool.
Well, and the cool thing about the professions is there's like 8 or 9 professions, and you can only get 2, so you have to rely on each other for the other professions if you want any of the advantages from the other professions. So it's created this really great environment on the server where people are just really working together because they need each other's professions if they want those perks. So,
and the Darwin Awards.
Oh yeah, the Darwin Awards is a mod we installed on the server. So every time a player dies, it posts to our one of our Discord channels some kind of funny joke about them dying.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's created a lot of fun conversation. And then there's like new ships, weapons, armors, decorative items, and more. So if you want modded, we've got it. And it'll be upgraded with Mistlands also. So you'll be able to play modded with Mistlands. And nice. So our third ecosystem, this is the new announcement. We have had seasonal servers in the past, but we're going to continue that tradition with a slight twist. Before we were building seasonal servers, putting hundreds of hours of admin content in it, and then the players would go through all that content in a few weeks and they'd be done. So we're not going to do that anymore. Instead, we're going to just release a fresh, clean new world every 4 months. And there's going to be an exact date when that resets, so you'll always know when that date happens. It'll probably be an event posted in Discord, so you can always refer to that event and know exactly the date that the server will reset. And because a lot of people like to play, and go through the whole cycle of Valheim all the way to the end. and then start over again.
Yeah.
And that server's also going to be no map. So
Ooh.
Gwen wanted to play no map in the Mistlands. She's going to get her opportunity.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yep.
You have to.
Oh boy.
You have to tell Grim. You're right. I died a lot.
Yeah, since I heard Grimcore say on, I think it was Christie's video where she interviewed him, he said, quote, Mistlands with no map will be impossible, unquote. Me and a couple of dedicated no mappers want to prove him wrong. So we will do a playthrough, no map. With Mistlands, we'll just find different tactics and we'll get through it. We'll die a lot, but I was going to die a lot anyway. So
I mean,
it's going to be a fun challenge.
There's always the hammer trick.
Yeah, exactly. There's lots of tricks. And it will be really fun to try that. And I enjoy the whole doing, a playthrough from scratch. I didn't want to necessarily kind of, wait for the new biome and then rush to get all the content and then go back to being like, oh, great. Well, I don't really have time to build and I've already done all the adventures. So now what do I do? So yeah, I enjoy the more slow experience of, well, for me, slow of doing a playthrough from scratch and actually experiencing the game how the devs intended it. From the beginning. And I understand that they also added potentially a few elements or items to the older biomes too, and that the worlds are going to be generated a bit differently. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to basically trying out the game as if it was released now with the Mistlands and seeing, how the devs built it to have that kind of whole experience as a new player.
Yeah. I might have to join you on that server because I love the no map adventures. I love being lost and really focusing on the environment, rather than just popping up in my map and jumping around, or following the map.
I will say that it looks like the Mistlands might have some of the most unique landscaping. So it might be easier in that sense, kind of, sort of, maybe. That's
like unlike the plains where every stone pillar looks the same.
Maybe that's what I mean.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting things going on over there. Those of us who have played with the public test branch version, we're getting familiar with it.
Well, some of you are.
Some of us. So if anybody out there is interested in joining us for Mistlands multiplayer community on a brand new permanent Mistlands server or a 4-month seasonal Mistlands server, you could just go to my website, JirocTheViking.com, submit an application. And if you have any questions, just come over to our Discord. We have lots of friendly people there who can answer your questions. And that's discord.gg/JirocTheViking.
Yeah.
So another fun announcement I have, especially because we're going to launch new Mistlands servers, is Jules, one of the modders, and we've had him on the podcast before. He's working on a new mod called Plan Build Locations. Now, his mod Plan Build allowed us to copy buildings, the entire building, and make a blueprint of it so we could paste it somewhere else. Well, this location version of his, I asked a while back if we could get a location mod that let me take all the blueprints and randomly spawn them around the world, because I spent dozens and dozens of hours doing that for our seasonal servers in the past. And players, they loved, discovering these locations out in the wild, just like you might discover the current, ruins and villages and stuff in the game. But yeah, so I have tons and tons of blueprints, but I have to place each one manually. So he's put together a mod that will place them around the world automatically for me in random locations, or, I can set the biome, I could set the quantity, I can set like how high, the height, the minimum and maximum. So if I want them only in mountains, I can set the height really high, or if I want them really low, in the plains or something close to the ocean.
That's so cool. That is so cool.
Well, and you know, Morning, you've placed blueprints before. You know you have to prepare the terrain. You have to place the blueprint. It takes a while.
Yeah. No, that's just incredible.
Yeah, that's going to be super helpful for anyone who wants to game master and generate cool maps for their own servers.
Yeah, I'm hoping our resource server that resets every 2 weeks. If this mod works and it's fairly easy, like it's not too involved, because I still have to do some testing with it. I'm hoping to have almost every one of our resource servers that reloads every 2 weeks have some extra locations around the world. So as people are out adventuring for their resources, they can also come across some new locations.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then let's see, I've got something here I wanted to share. So I don't normally share other people's videos, but one of the players who frequents our Discord server is named Jelly Jam Boy. He's a YouTube channel.
He's so fun.
Yeah.
He's just about to hit 2,000 subscribers. I recommend you go over there and subscribe to him. He's putting out some great content. But if you want spoilers, avoid this video until Mistlands comes out. But as soon as you can, try to watch this video. I don't really need to advertise it for him because it's already got 69,000 views and climbing. It's one of the red hot Valheim videos that are out there now.
Nice.
But it's just this great, he runs through the Mistlands and gives his experience of each new encounter and new discovery. And it's passionate and it's fun and it's just so exciting to watch. He really put a lot of heart into it. So I really recommend you go check out this video as soon as you can, or wait till Mistlands comes out for spoilers, because he does show all the things he comes across in that video. So good job, Jelly Jam Boy. That's an awesome video.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you like, if you're curious about modded content and you don't want Mistlands spoilers, check out the modded videos that he posted on his channel as well. Those were pretty good, kind of showcasing different mods that he was using. He kind of did a whole playthrough series. And he's got a cool video also with tips on playing no map. So if anyone is up for the challenge of playing no map, he's got a cool video that gives you loads of great tips. But yeah, Jelly is great.
And I want to take a quick break to share with you my sponsor, Zydax Computers. They can customize a gaming rig just for you like they did for me. They can also do custom laptops. And here they have a lifetime desktop parts warranty. And I actually had to use it myself when my power supply went out, and they replaced it with no problem. It's the only one of its kind offered in the industry. Zydax desktop computers come with an unheard of lifetime parts and service guarantee that nobody else can match. That means if your hard drive blows up in 10 years, you're covered. And if you're in the market for a new computer or laptop, you can use my link, jiroctheviking.com/Zydax. You can also find that link in the description. Now back to the show. Yep. Check him out. And then I thought we'd talk about a fun little meme that Smith8 released. Did you see it, Morning?
Most dangerous biome.
Yeah, there's two characters in the picture here for those just listening. One is labeled Swamp Character and the other one's labeled Plains. And Swamp Character is saying, I'm the most dangerous biome. And the Plains character says, no, I'm the most dangerous biome. Then off screen, somebody says, amateurs. They look over angrily. The next picture is, what was that, punk? And then we just see a character sitting with its back to them at a table with a beer in his hand and a cloak over his head. And then the next picture is he turns around and faces them. He says, amateurs, and it's Mistlands.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's great. It's so great.
Yeah, it's funny when I try to make videos, most of the time I'm in God mode, but for some things I want to demonstrate without God mode. And so, I'll eat the foods and get the rested buff and put the armor on. And I tried doing that a few times in the Mistlands and I kept getting killed.
Jeez.
So I need to use God mode to demonstrate stuff in Mistlands because it's so dangerous. But I think, as we go, we'll learn tips and tricks even more to deal with things. But yeah,
I'm telling you what I'm looking forward to seeing is all the people who do speed runs or challenge runs, like permadeath style.
Yeah.
See how they're going to deal with the Mistlands. If it's that scary and that dangerous, I can't wait to see how they handle it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep. It'll be fun to see if they can actually get through the Mistlands and kill the boss without dying for those permadeath people. And and the the speed run people too, that their times are going to be slowed down quite a bit, I think, by the Mistlands.
You think?
Maybe they'll learn some tricks to teach us. Well, and so the Mistlands public test branch came out last week, and since then, I have uploaded a ton of new videos. As a matter of fact, I uploaded 7 new videos this week in between Mistlands, or between the last podcast and this current podcast. So 7. I've already got another one recorded, and I'll be editing it as soon as this podcast is done. So that'll probably be up even before this video comes out. But the videos I've done so far, obviously there's lots of spoilers, so you probably want to avoid them if you don't want to see spoilers. But how to play the Mistlands public test branch, I did a whole video on that if you want to jump in right now. I do a video where I talk about the 6th Forsaken stone that's in the game now, and the new Forsaken power that comes with it, which is absolutely necessary for the content in the Mistlands, right? Right, Morning?
I don't know. I haven't gotten to the Mistlands yet.
Oh, and you're in a new world with the Mistlands, but you haven't gotten there yet. Okay.
Right. Yeah, we just hit the mountains.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that Forsaken Stone power you need, it complements what content in the Mistlands, I'll just say.
Interesting.
Yeah. Let's see what else. All the new emotes in the game. So, we have the cheer, the wave, and a couple of others. There are now 11 new emotes on top of all those. And I demonstrate all those and goof around with them a little bit. But I do it in the Mistlands. So
cool fun fact. Gwen, do you want to mute yourself on this, or does this matter to you?
What? The emotes?
You gonna spoil something?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll mute myself. Just give me a little wave when you're done.
Okay. So one of the new emotes, Smithy actually came into my chat and mentioned that the dance is actually a traditional old style Viking dance.
Oh, nice.
So it's actually a traditional IRL historical thing. All right.
That's pretty cool. Here, we'll wave to all the listeners who muted us too on YouTube.
Come back.
Okay, come back. Come back to us. No more spoilers. Maybe some spoilers at the end of the podcast, but we'll announce that also. Then I released a video with weaknesses for all the enemies, and it's basically the damage type. Different damage types can, they're weak or resistant or immune to. I demonstrate that for all the mobs. So if you are having a really hard time killing them, or then they're killing you, you might want to watch that video and use the right weapon. And it's pulled directly from the code. So I had a modder pull all their weaknesses, resistances, immunities, all that from the code. So of course that could change in between the test version and the release version, but it's probably going to stay the same because I don't see really any bugs with it. There's a new comfort level we can reach. Not really a spoiler. I won't tell you what it is that gives us the comfort. But I have a complete guide to that new comfort level if you want to know exactly how to get to the max comfort level. And well, there's another 2 videos which I won't mention that I did because it does reveal some new mechanic in there. And then I released a video with the new mechanic. There were some comments in my in the video on YouTube saying that I was wrong And so I did do a follow-up video with even more testing to show them how they were incorrect and my testing was indeed accurate. But
I loved that video. It was like super, you're just like, nope, you can't argue with code.
Yeah, one of the modders pulled some code for me.
I had that argument in my chat the other night with my husband. It was great.
Oh, about the same subject?
Uh-huh.
Did you point him to my video?
I did.
Yeah. Yeah, so fun videos there. And well, I'm guessing Gwen didn't get any new videos up in this last week. She sounded busy and sick.
I did publish a short, which was just a clip from one of the streams that I had done, but yeah, just not really having the time. And when I do, I don't know, I'm getting that kind of editor's block, I guess, where I have a video that I'm working on, which is just a build showcase. It's really not that hard, but for some reason, I'm just
slogging.
It's a bit of a struggle. I'm trying to make it like kind of work with the music and dynamic, and it's just, I don't know. It's the Hocus Pocus build, so it's a build that's been around that I've streamed building back in October, so I really need to get that done, but I don't know, it's a bit of a slog at the moment, but yeah, hopefully I'll finish it. I'm hoping at some point this week, because I do want to go back to streaming once I feel a bit less congested. I hope I'm going to be able to stream maybe Thursday. And yeah, I've got a couple of ideas of things I want to do before Mistlands finally drops. And it seems like it's going to be a matter of maybe a couple of days to a week after this podcast drops is my guess of when it's going to actually release to the public. So I don't have a huge amount of time. And after that, obviously, all the time that I'll have will be playing this new playthrough to the Mistlands. So I've got an idea of a stream that I'd like to do, a couple more ideas of videos that maybe I'll have time to release before, but we'll see. As always, trying to juggle loads of things and hobbies and work, and yeah, video stuff is kind of suffering from it, but yeah, what can I do? I can't clone myself yet.
Yeah, so much to do and not enough time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, morning, what have you been doing over on Twitch?
Well, I've put everything else on hold. One, because I haven't really taken the time. I've been too nervous to switch back from the public test branch to normal for reasons. I backed up my characters, but anyway, we talked about that earlier. But the other thing is that my husband really wants to do the public test branch playthrough. So we actually started from scratch the way it was intended to be. We're testing each level of progression. We're talking about the different stuff. So we just hit the mountains last night. We played on Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night after Thanksgiving, Friday night, Saturday night, skipped Sunday, and then last night. And so, yeah, we've played almost every night. Our banter has been making people crack up. We had G-Portal did its backup reset, like server reset thing last night. And we lost our entire haul of silver. We lost more than a stack of guck that I just had harvested.
Oh, no.
We lost our longship. Oh my gosh. We lost so much. And my husband was just very salty. He was very salty. So he's like, all right, well, if our longship is gone, it's out there somewhere. So we have to go find it. And I'm like, I do not want to spend the stream doing this. Guess where our ship was?
Where?
Just within loading distance from the mouth of the river where our base is.
Well,
So
that's
that
good.
sounds familiar. That
Oh
sounds
my
like
God,
another
Gwen!
story of trying to retrieve boats and bodies.
It totally reminded me of that, Gwen. Oh gosh. And there was a perfect emote that I was able to use.
A perfect emote. Oh, she muted.
Normally she doesn't bark, and when she does, I can mute myself, but she was barking when I was in the middle of talking. How exciting.
I didn't hear her.
Oh, she's so loud. She's
Mhm.
so loud. Hi, big girl. It's probably because my kid is like stomping up and down the hall right now. Fighting nap time. Anyway, so yeah, we were able to get the ship back, but we had actually gone out, spawned in all the stuff that we had lost because we were like, this was not a Valheim problem. This was 100% a G portal problem, and so yeah. That was a little frustrating. But other than that, no, it's been a really good playthrough. Keys died a lot more than I have.
Oh, yeah. Is that just from him being rusty then?
A little bit, yeah, because he hasn't even played the caves yet.
Oh, right. Yeah,
But
he went off to other games and for a while, didn't he?
Yep. I will say though that the current seed that we're on might just be really bad luck. Or the way they've done world generating, it's different and tough. Just to give you an idea of level of like tough, we found bone mass, killed him last night. Guess how many crypts were on the bone mass continent that we were on, which was really more like an island.
Probably very few if it's a small island.
It's not a small island, but just guess. How many?
One?
5?
One.
Oh, 1?
One.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Yeah, it's sad if you find a big Mistlands or a big swamp area, but only one or a very few crypts.
We have found, I think, a total of like 4 or 5 crypts, and we've been to a bunch of swamps, and like every single swamp is a false swamp or a fake swamp, or however you want to call it. But it has been tough, and I've heard from other people coming to my chat that caves have been really challenging to find too. So I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, it'll be interesting once it's released, and there's a whole bunch of players then playing it to see if their individual experience with a mass group of players. The feedback says where are all the crypts in the dungeons? Where they're lacking now? What is it? Or if it's just bad luck, right? Like, because I've been in seeds before too that have areas that have fewer, but maybe it's just bad luck.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously one playthrough is not enough data to come to any conclusions, but my goodness, this run has been an interesting one.
Cool. Well, Gwen, what is you had something going on the server this weekend? What was it?
Yeah, so since we've had a couple of new players join the servers in the last couple of weeks, as well as some veterans, people who have passed their 1-year anniversary on the server, and also some founders that have returned, I thought I'd put together a quick little community event. And we did a little meet and greet so that the new players could kind of get to know the community, and everyone returned to the playground server from their Jotun Quest modded adventures and other PTB adventures, which was nice. And so we had a little feast at our community tavern, and during the feast and while we were going around kind of sharing stories of our best moments on the server and adventures and so on. Of course, we got a horde raid on Naomi, because it always happens when we have a big concentration of players, a lot of new players also in one place. Yeah, we get those fun raids, and then It always makes for very fun events because of the concentration of players and the high instances in that town. Basically, you're fighting invisible mobs, so it just makes it really chaotic and very fun. So we left a couple of players to go and fight the mobs, and some of us just cleared the area to help reduce lag and so on. But yeah, apart from that, it went well. It was lovely to meet some of the newer players that I hadn't interacted with necessarily. It was great to see the veterans come back after some of them had taken months of a break and are kind of returning to the community for the Mistlands. Some were just busy playing modded or PTB, so it was good to have everyone back. And I gave out some welcome gifts to the new players and some 1 year anniversary gifts to the veterans. And
what was the anniversary gift?
A blue mushroom.
Yeah.
Which is obviously an admin spawn item only.
And were there any accidental eatings of blue mushrooms?
Yes, of course there was.
People go, oh, what's this? Click. Oops, I ate it.
Accidental and then, non-accidental. You ate one on purpose because you were like, I'm the creator of this world. I don't need I have all the mushrooms, the blue mushrooms in the world. I'm just going to have this one for snacks.
It was tasty.
But yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. I just happened to be available because my Shield Maiden was out with all the other Shield Maidens doing a raid on Saturday for a few hours. So I said, well, I could go out with the guys, but I got to make some more videos. And then I saw that big event going on, so I jumped in to say hi. It was fun. A lot of people were on that day, this last Saturday.
Yeah, about 20 or so, I would say.
Yeah, and just on that server, there were still people I noticed playing on the modded server while we were doing it. Speaking of the modded server, Vaste, our digital admin, put together a new quest for the modded server, and it's a pirate quest. And so he's got this little pirate cove out in the middle of the ocean on a little tiny island, and you can sail out to try to find it. And then there are some NPCs there to talk to. There's a black market merchant that you can do some swapping of goods with for some things, some interesting things. And then the bartender sends you on this really epic quest, which took a couple people a few days to finish, where you have to go out and you have to find this sunken ship. It's like partially sticking up from the water, which is another build that he did. And you got to go out and you got to fight a pirate ship, which is full of feelings, which is from a mod we have. The feelings sail around out in the ocean and will attack you if they see you. That's it's one of my favorite new additions to the mods. So you got to kill that. You got to do some other stuff. You got to find some other stuff. And then one of the big epic things you got to do is you got to find and kill the Kraken. There's this really big Kraken in the game that swims around out in the ocean, only comes out when there's a thunderstorm. And my goodness, you do not want to let it get close to your boat because it will throw it around like a rag doll. But yeah.
Is that the same Kraken as what we had in season 2?
Yep. It has been tweaked a little bit since in between by the modders, but yep. So it's that big Kraken that you saw. And if anybody who's seen that Kraken and seen it grab a ship, if you let it grab your ship, it's pretty much no surviving it. So got to try to lead it to land and kill it that way. But and then we have an epic reward at the end where they get to unlock one of the new build tools from one of the mods, and it opens up all these really cool decorative pieces that they can now build. So, of course, everybody wants to do the quest so that they can unlock all the new build pieces and decorative pieces. We hope to add at least one new quest or more per month to our modded server. So if you're interested in modded. But things we'd like to see changed or added to Valheim. Gwen's favorite segment, because she DMs me like at least twice a day with, they need to change this or they need to add that. And I'm like, Gwen, you're doing my head in.
Before we move on to the next segment, I just realized I was muted, but I was saying I definitely have a couple of quest ideas that I want to add too. So I need to get working on those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And for any of my players or anybody out there in the community, you go to the Marketplace mod, KG Marketplace mod. Find that. He's got a little tutorial in there how to do quests. You need to understand what the mechanics of building a quest are. And if you want to make a quest, you can actually just write up the quest yourself and submit it to the admins on my server, and we can then implement it into the server. But yeah, it's we have had some people suggesting quest ideas, and I tell them, oh, you should go look at the tutorial because we can't do that thing you're suggesting. Like it has some limitations, right? It has certain things you can set up, but it's fun. It actually is a pretty powerful tool. You can do quite a bit with it to create quests. But things we'd like to see changed or added to Valheim. Gwen, if you could change or add something.
So it's something that popped in my mind a couple of times while playing No Map, and something that would be helpful in the scenario of possibly the Mistlands, where you can't see anything because of the mist, and you need another kind of visual marker for where the cardinal points might be, because of course what I was relying heavily on in most biomes was just looking up in the sky and seeing either the position of the sun at a given time of day, or looking at the Yggdrasil tree, which points in a certain direction. But I'm guessing in the Mistlands, if you're surrounded constantly by mist, you won't really have that option. So one thing that you learn in scouts or any kind of orienteering as a kid is, moss only grows on the north side of a tree because that's the most humid and coldest side. And that would be quite a cool little detail that would make the immersion just like that one extra bit more. And it would be a cool way to up close if the weather is really bad, if it's like raining a lot or very cloudy, you can't see the sky and you can't like look up to figure out where north is. You could just look at the trees around you and have a sense for where north might be. So that would be a cool addition. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a fun mechanic just to give you something to get through the Mistlands rather than using little hacky tricks that you're not supposed to.
Well, and if they were to do that, it'd have to be a whole additional like texture, because the trees have their own texture and look, and they get rotated and added into the game different ways. So they couldn't just like have the tree always oriented in one way. They couldn't add it as a texture on the tree. They'd have to add as a whole new thing. Like vines is its own thing.
Well, yeah, like the guck trees is really just a swamp tree with the attachment of this guck node. So yeah, they'd have to have like some moss node that appears only on the north side of the tree, sort of at the base there. But yeah, it sounds like a fun, easy enough mechanic to do if it's something they wanted to add to the game, and to help out those no mappers who Grimcore says it's going to be impossible to do in the Mistlands.
Watch as we manage the Mistlands with no map.
as you show Grimcore your 20 gravestones scattered throughout, you'd be like, you said it was impossible. We did it, but we died a lot.
Hey. Gravestones could be used as position markers. They could be used as, the breadcrumb trail.
Yeah.
When you lose.
This is a new strat that I just made up. I'm going to use my own gravestones as the breadcrumbs to find my way in the misty forest.
No.
So Gwen's going to put all her stuff in a chest, carry one stone, and run naked through the Mistlands until she dies, and then try to do it again and get further and further in. Just follow the trail of gravestones.
Yeah, get that no skill drain bonus. Yeah, it is a valid strat. Some speedrunners do that.
Yeah, they absolutely do. What about you, Morning, if you would change or add anything to ye good old Valheim?
So Kenros actually gave me a really good idea in chat the other day. And he was saying that it would be really cool that once you defeated all of the bosses and all of the biomes in Valheim, it'd be really cool if that like unlocked items, including all the items, including landscaping items, or so like once the game is completed, then you can plant whatever you want. Then you can build with whatever you want. And I thought that was a really cool idea. Like, as a reward for, hey, you completed Valheim, now you can unlock the new part of Valheim, which is build to your heart's content.
So basically all the stuff that only admins can build with and spawn in.
Right.
Let the players do it once they complete the final boss.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool
like that.
idea. Yeah. Otherwise, my other one is a little spoilery, so I'm not going to say it right now.
That's funny. Well, yeah. So for me, especially looking at the new mod that Jules has coming out, where we can randomly place locations around the world, I can save the blueprint with one of the spawners in the game. The physical spawners where the creatures come out. There's only a few of those. And then the rest are like invisible spawners, like at the fueling camps and wherever, when you get within a certain range, the mob spawns, but then that's it. If you come back to that fueling camp, they don't respawn. So if I could instead have the spawners have a reset mechanic, that would be amazing, because as a server admin, I have lots of players coming and going. And so when players go out to a location, all those spawners have already spawned in the creature. People have killed the creatures, and then now it's just an empty area. If I could just have a command that says respawn yes or no, and respawn how many days, in-game days or whatever, that would be amazing. Because now I could have regenerating content and mobs for the players. And please, we need more admin commands. It would be amazing to have something like that. And I just want to take a quick break from the show to share with you one of my sponsors, the Grimfrost, an amazing company that sells really, really cool Viking products. They have over 1,000 different modern and historical Viking products. If you're interested, you should check them out. I have a link in the description, or you can go to my website, jiroctheviking.com/Grimfrost. Now back to the show. So we're coming down to the end here just about, and we have a fun question for this week. Morning, do you want to tell us what our About Us question is?
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really have an intro as to why this is it, but what is your favorite magical or mythological animal?
Yeah, and maybe why, if you remember maybe a reason why. Like I have a reason why mine is.
Tell us yours. Tell us why.
So who wants to start? Gwen?
Jiroc, you. No, I called you.
Oh, is that what you called? You called me out. Okay. So when I was, a child, I didn't get to go to the theater very often. It was just out of the way. My parents were always working, and I was always at babysitters' houses, so you just didn't get to go to the movies often. And one of the few movies I got to go to is kind of a funny story. So my mom and her sister, my aunt, took me and my two cousins. One was about a year older, one about a year younger, so we're all very close in age. But we're all it was 9, 10, and 11, so something like that, maybe even a little bit younger. They took us to the shopping mall, and there's a theater at the shopping mall. And they wanted to go, I don't know where, adult women go to. A bar, I don't know where they went, the hair salon, I don't know where they went, right? But they went somewhere, and this was in the late 80s, or no, early 80s, yeah. So where they let kids just kind of wander around at young ages. I would wander all over the town by myself at a very young age. I walked to school at 5. It was like 3 blocks away. Like nobody'd let a 5-year-old walk to school these days. But they dropped us off at the theater, and they gave us each a $5 bill. And back then it was enough to get a movie ticket and maybe like a popcorn or something. I don't remember. But we walk up to the theater, and they said, where's your parent or guardian for this movie? And we all thought, we need parents for this movie. And it was Clash of the Titans.
Oh.
It was a PG-13 movie because of one scene on the beach where they're walking and you can see their butts. So Clash of the Titans, we were so excited, because it's like, you never see these big fantasy movies back then. We saw the advertisement on, the commercial on TV. We're like, we got to see that. So they said, fine, they take us. They dropped us off. They went and did their thing. So we're standing there outside. We can't go into the theater. We have $5 each. So we all look at each other. Well, what are we going to do? Our parents aren't going to be here for 2 hours. So we went inside the theater and we played video games for the next 2 hours. Cause $5, you get a bunch of quarters, and we all played video games. 2 hours later, we come back out. We're standing in front of the theater because that's where they expect to pick us up. And the parents asked us, so how was the movie? And we all looked at each other. It was great. Yeah, it was great. Okay. Because we were all worried that they're going to get mad at us for spending the money playing video games instead of the movie, right? So we lied. Then like the next weekend, my cousins, because their parents were divorced, we got to go hang out with with their dad, which was my uncle. And he said, what do you guys want to do this weekend? We said, we want to go see Clash of the Titans. So he took us.
You're coming with us.
Yeah, he took us. He saw it. He loved it. We all loved it. Then our parents, or my mom and my aunt asked us, well, what did you do with your uncle? And we said, we went and saw Clash of the Titans again because it was that good. and they confronted him saying, what did you really do with the kids? They already saw the movie. So now you're lying to us. So our parents thought that our uncle was lying about what he did with us. Like he was doing something, took us someplace nefarious, like a strip club or something. I don't know. Like, what do you think we're doing? We're like 10 years old. We would see the movie again. So that's my story. And in the movie, the Pegasus, that takes him around the world and was his savior in the end of the movie, is just like, that thing was super magical. So I always wanted that horse that could fly and take me around, get anywhere in the world. There you go.
Amazing.
Well, what about you, Gwen?
Well, the obvious internet pop culture meme answer would be unicorns, of course. I actually have kind of a fun joke about unicorns. So for most people who know me, I'm really not a girly type of girl. I hate all the girly stuff. I don't do girly things. And so unicorns tend to be a bit of like the go-to kind of thing for little girls who love pink and sparkles, right? It's kind of got that image. So kind of ironically, I adopted it as my spirit animal, like, I don't know, during my teenage years. And I kind of developed a bit of an obsession that I displayed in, that was like 8 years ago in my first like proper job I had. We were all working in open spaces, but in an office. And my desk, I started just decorating it with loads of unicorn themed stuff. Because I don't know, it was kind of a joke between colleagues as well. And so they kept like bringing me unicorn themed stuff. And so as a result, I had like this whole kind of unicorn shrine on my desk at work for a while. So that would be my joke answer. Otherwise, my maybe more serious one would be probably the phoenix. I like the idea of something that is reborn out of its ashes. the idea of everything, even after destruction, can be reborn and can revive is quite a nice idea. And yeah, I quite like that association also in the Harry Potter book series. Obviously, the Phoenix has an important role to play and very kind of poetic symbol. So yeah, that would be my answer. Not as fun of a story as Jiroc, I guess, but.
All right, what's your favorite unicorn movie?
I don't watch unicorn movies. I preface this with I'm not that kind of girly girl.
Gwen, this is absolutely easy, and I'm not a girly girl either.
Is there any unicorn movies? Like, what?
Yeah, there's an amazing one that I love.
Two solid ones. One is The Last Unicorn.
Yes.
Which is probably one of the coolest animated movies that ever came out of the 80s ever, including, I like it better than The Hobbit. Although it's a very similar animation style, but I feel like it's a stronger story than The Hobbit. Unpopular opinion, maybe, I don't know. And then another really fantastic movie that has a unicorn in it that plays a significant role is the movie Legend.
Yes.
With Tom Cruise, baby Tom Cruise.
Baby Tom Cruise, very young. Baby Tom Cruise. Yeah, if you haven't seen Legend or both of those movies, Gwen, I highly recommend them.
I have not watched them.
You have to.
Okay, that might be my my Christmas movie playlist then.
There you go. Yeah, actually, they'd both be great for the holidays. Yeah, very magical movies.
Yeah.
Well, since you said yeah, go ahead. Morning.
Tell me when you've seen The Last Unicorn. Or you know what? Better yet, if you don't have a way to watch it, Gwen, call me up. We'll set a watch time together, and I will play it and stream it, and we can watch it.
Don't say that. That's illegal. No,
I own the movie, and I can stream it on Discord and share my screen with you.
That's still illegal.
No, it's not.
I think it is.
With my friend, I'm not sharing it or recording it publicly. That's not.
Yeah, there's something about a public forum versus a private forum that you can display. Okay. I don't really know the legalities behind it, even as a filmmaker. But
money.
Well, yeah, you couldn't stream it like on YouTube or Twitch or anything, but because those are public forums. But yeah, maybe I don't know. Like if it's
I was going to say, does the film editor here might know?
Well, I'm just going to recommend that you don't do it until you consult a lawyer. Just to all the listeners, just to keep it legit here. And then Morning Darkness can do whatever she wants over there.
Also, you have to mention this is not legal advice. Please seek your own legal advice or copywriting advice, because we're clearly not experts here.
And we are not recommending you stream movies to your friends.
No.
Not on Twitch, no. But on a private Discord call, you and I can watch a movie together.
Well, Gwen, since you love unicorns so much, we'll have to try to get you a shirt like this.
That's perfect.
I will stab you.
Yeah, pretty much. Is that a metal kind of point on the? Yeah, no, the unicorn already has like a built-in pointy thing. Why did it need an extra sharp on it?
Yeah, it's better. They in the picture here, for those just listening, the picture has a knife blade tied to the end of the horn, which is already sharp.
That's overkill, but I like it.
And the shirt says, "I will stab you."
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah, I've seen that meme of the unicorn shirt going around. So when you were talking about it, I had to look one up and bring it over. Well, Morning, what about you? Favorite magical or mythological animal?
I'd have to say dragon. I have so many dragons. I have like 6 dragon stuffies like right here. And I have another one in the living room, and I have all kinds of dragons. I have a dragon book. I've got all kinds of other stuff. And I know I should say griffin, but for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But no, it's dragons. I even when I was growing up, I had an imaginary friend that was a dragon, and she was a water dragon, and so she would, she would tell me about all of her adventures when she would go swimming with dolphins and do all this other cool stuff in the ocean. And she had like nautilus shells as horns. And her name was really like weird and unique. And I still I still can't believe that I can even remotely remember how to pronounce it, but it was, I'm going to get close to the mic so that you can hear like the nuance of it, but it's a lark.
You rolled your R's there.
And yes, a little bit, but there's like nuance to it. It's weird. I don't know how I came up with this. Like it just sort of like implanted itself in my brain one day and then was there for like a decade. And she would like all of a sudden, when I'd be in the middle of something really uncomfortable, all of a sudden I would just imagine that she was there and like hanging out and be like, I'm ready to flood the place if you need to go. So, yeah.
So you must really love the dragon in Valheim then, right? Or glad that they included a dragon as one of the creatures in the game?
Well, I do love Mutter. She is one of the more terrifying bosses, in my opinion. She's one of the more challenging ones. And yes, she's the one that is actually a dragon, but the drakes are not dragons.
Right.
Those are drakes.
Yes.
So the funny thing, because I was having that discussion about drakes with my sister earlier, and I showed her a picture of a drake, and she pointed out something that I can't unsee, which is drakes look like weird worms. They don't have legs. They just have the wings and this weird worm-like body, and that's it.
Different definition.
Well, I don't know what the definition. I just find it like now it looks weird to me. Now every time I'll see a drake, I'll be like, oh, why do you have that pointy, weird worm-like body?
Well,
if there's no legs or anything.
The drakes of Valheim are a little bit weird too. I would not entirely consider those drakes. For me, the distinction is a dragon has 4 legs and wings. So the additional like extra 2 limbs as wings, whereas a drake has legs and wings that are part of their arms.
Yes, but I don't even think the drakes in Valheim have hands. Yeah, they don't have arms. They're like, they don't have claws on the ends of their wings, like you would imagine that would be the hand or arm bit, right? They're just worms with wings.
Yeah. The creatures in Valheim aren't quite drakes either. But yes, no, I do love that there is a dragon in Valheim.
Well, yeah. There's a lot of different creatures out there that get called things that they aren't. I found an interesting picture that kind of illustrates that. So let's bring this up if you're not. So it's actually a very educational discussion for those of us into fantasy and video games.
Nerds.
We're nerds.
Yes. Amazing. I love this.
But yeah, there's the dragon that Morning Darkness was talking. Like the traditional dragon has 4 limbs, right? Like 2 legs and two arms. So it walks like a dog or a wolf or whatever. Then has wings that are completely separate from its arms and legs.
Yes.
And the rest of it, it's lizard body. And then what are the ones they don't even really have, I guess what they call this amphitheater?
Amphitheater? That's what all Valheim drakes are. Yeah, they're like worms with wings.
Yeah, like a worm with wings.
Quetzalcoatl are like that.
Then the wyvern is the one that has its arms.
Yeah. That's Moda.
In its wings.
Yes, that's Moda is a wyvern then, because she's got legs because she can land, and she's got hands on her not tails. She's got hands on her wings.
Yes, and I'll illustrate that here because here's a picture of
there it is.
Motor.
Okay, that's why I was like, okay, am I just misremembering Motor or yeah, okay. So yeah. So she is a
we're
wyvern.
getting technical here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I like her, but like she's not really a dragon.
Yeah, she's a wyvern.
Wyvern,
then a Wyrm.
Technology all messed up.
Yeah, the Wyrm.
Is it Wyrm or Wyrm?
Wyrm.
I've always pronounced it just Wyrm, but Wyrm, and it's like a dragon. It's the whole dragon body, just no wings and no arms, no legs. It's just like a big snake.
Yeah, Wyrm is a good description in all senses. It's a good name. It's literally just basically a snake, really.
Yeah.
And then in Valheim, they call their drakes, which are really these amphitheaters. But a drake here is like a dragon, but without wings. It walks on all fours.
That's right. Yeah.
Like a glorified Komodo dragon, basically.
Yeah. Now, this is assuming whoever put this picture together isn't messing up.
I inherently agree with this graphic. This is Morning Darkness approved.
Yeah. And then there's something here called a lindworm.
This one's new for me, actually.
Yeah,
I've seen the picture, but I don't remember what it was called. But yeah, it's like the worm, but then it's just got arms basically in the middle of it. So no wings, no legs, just arms. So all kinds of varieties. And there's probably some other names for these creatures out there too, depending on who you ask, and maybe even some physical variations on this. But this is kind of a good illustration of all the different dragon type creatures out there. So fun discussion. I didn't expect to do that. Well, when you brought it up, I said, I gotta look that up because I know there's a bunch of different types out there. So
yep.
Yeah. That's cool. And so MD, I'm guessing that How to Train Your Dragon, the animated movie series, is one that you like.
Yeah. Including the Race to the Edge, and like all three of the How to Train Your Dragon movies and the TV series. And then there's a song on the TV series that I'm working on adapting and recording into. And wait, what? Hi.
What?
Has somebody walked in the room?
No. Just I would go on and on. So I'm just cutting myself off there. Hi, guys.
Okay.
That's cool. It's funny because we have like a whole clan on our playground servers, on our vanilla servers, that are inspired by this movie. They call themselves the Hairy Hooligans.
Yep.
And I think the founder of that clan is a big fan of How to Train Your Dragon as well. But yeah, it's a good animation. Yeah, a good animated movie.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we wanted to talk about some Mistlands bugs that have been discovered before we wrap up the podcast here. Morning Darkness found this really great website with where they're listing the bugs. So, Morning, this is a list that's coming from the developers, right? Like they're posting on this website?
Their Trello bug list.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what a lot of...
Is this my cue and the cue for all the spoiler-free people to quietly leave the room?
Probably. Like it's mostly pretty benign, but like there are some things here that you'd be like, but they have what?
Yeah. They reference something that you don't know exists in the bug, so you don't want to know it exists. You want to untune now, but click the like and leave a review and share with a friend and smash that like button.
Yes, leave a comment. Were you surprised about all these differences between drakes, worms, dragons, and things? And if so, what's your favorite? Or what's your favorite? What do you say? Mythological creature or magical creature? Comment below.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, let's hear what everybody's favorite is, because I bet there's some favorites out there that I forgot about that I would put high on my list.
Yeah. One cool thing that we could ask people to comment on is what cool creature, as in like magical creature that's in just lore or book series and so on, would you like to see in Valheim?
Ooh.
No Mistlands spoilers, obviously, but yeah, comment what you would like to see in Valheim in terms of known mythical creatures.
Mm-hmm. So I can't pick my thing that I want to see as one of the thing that's already there. Well, you don't know if it's there if you're not watching spoilers. You don't know if I'm saying that it's there.
I don't like your mind games, Jiroc.
Well, I love spiders, so spiders would be great. And no,
that's not a mythical creature.
No,
no. The giant
but there is a
spider. That's from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, what is it called? It's got a name. Yeah, it's in Harry Potter as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Aragog is in Harry Potter. Shelob is in Lord of the Rings, but what the actual species is, I think it's just giant spider.
Yeah.
Well, I will say my goodbyes and leave you to discuss Mistlands things. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you for joining us this week, Gwen.
Thanks very much. See you around. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right.
But yeah,
now that she's gone, we can have some real fun.
Oh my. But yeah, I really I get why they're doing this, why they have this public, known issues, things that are fixed but have not been patched yet. Because that way people who experience the bugs and report them can look at this and be like, oh, okay, I see that they've already got it on the list. And, that way it can help refine the process a little bit.
Yeah.
I will say that the bug that I mentioned, both in the Discord and to Smithway directly, I still don't see on the known issues list. So maybe it's meant on purpose.
Oh, which bug is that?
So I've noticed when I was watching someone else do a playthrough that if you hit the ground with a pickaxe and then try to use the cultivator to fix the terrain, not to cultivate it, but to just fix the terrain, it didn't work. It said cultivator cannot be used here. And so I wonder if that's just intentional. So if you accidentally hit the ground where you're not supposed to and change the terrain, you just can't fix that. So be careful when you're leveling an area, kind of thing.
So I tried the cultivator to cultivate the land, and it won't let you do it on the dark area. You can do it in the grassy area, but you can't do it in the dark dirt areas.
But you can't use the cultivator at all, right? But
it won't let you use any of the options on the cultivator there?
Right. It won't let you do the grassy option that restores the terrain to its original look.
Right. Oh, so interesting.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see.
So if you put down like the stone texture, you can't change that or take it away from the stone texture to back to the dirt look.
Right.
Oh, that's why. Because I thought I was doing something wrong. I thought I was forgetting how to do it or something because I noticed I couldn't change it to the dirt.
Yeah, no, I think that's a bug that they haven't really thought that was very important.
Oh. Well.
But yeah.
Yeah, once people start building bases and changing their terrain, they're going to want those options, I would guess.
I'm going to mention it again and see what they say, but yeah. All right, so let's talk about bugs that they know about and have already fixed but haven't hit a patch yet.
Yeah.
Shall we start with that? All right, so currently new Mistlands events don't spawn mobs correctly. So there are 2 new mob raids or mob raids that occur that can happen at your base, I think. And the mobs aren't spawning correctly, but they already know about it. They've already fixed it. Yay. Good job, Iron Gate.
Yeah.
Next, fish cannot be picked up if they're on land or if you caught them with the fishing rod. So their entire new fishing system is a mini game all on its own with a whole new bait system and so many new fish. You can't even play with it right now. Which
I know I wanted to make a video on it, but since I can't grab the fish, that's
so I'm hoping that they patch that before they do a full release so that any kinks that might be within the system still can be worked out before they do a public release.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's so far since they haven't patched it yet. And that was like the first thing they fixed too. I'm a little worried that they haven't like patched it yet.
Yeah.
Another thing, Dream Text, there was a typo in translation ID. No big deal, but cool. They fixed some typos.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this next one cracks me up so hard. I haven't gotten chickens yet because we haven't killed Yagluth. But chickens and hens sound effects sound like the boars when they're hit, pet, or die.
It's funny they added that sound effect to it. Well, initially, but sounds like they fixed it.
I feel like that was a placeholder, and then
you get that little snorting sound from a chicken.
But oh my God, that's just so funny. And then apparently there's a typo on the Wisp fountain. You will rewarded, but they've already fixed that. Wrong message when there are no ballista missiles in inventory and players trying to add more. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
They've already fixed it. These are all fixes. Deconstructed blue and red jute or utsa carpets produces visual effects when mixing textures. Okay, so when it like breaks or whatever, it must be missing a texture somewhere. Wisp torches use fire sound effect. Okay, so these are all like, placeholders that I'm sure they put in and then they forgot to go back and update.
Yeah. I definitely don't want them to sound like torches. Torches kind of drive me nuts, that constant crackling noise. I don't like it.
Yeah. And then let's see here. Hugin and Moonin can still float in the air at some Dvergar locations. Interesting.
Oh, they have a picture as an example. Oh, yeah, they're floating there in the air instead of being on a rock or something.
Funny.
Let's see what else we got. Shield staff. Ball effect is not centered on players who are moving in multiplayer. Shield staff ball effect is not centered on players. Oh, yeah, because obviously we're in spoilers, but there's magic in the game and you can cast a shield, which puts a ball around you, which offers more protection. And I guess it's not centered on the players who are moving like it should be. But they fixed it. So, destroying brood eggs affects performance too much. Ooh.
Interesting.
There is like a splash when you break them.
Okay.
And I guess that was not optimized.
Yeah. Okay. They fixed it. Nice. Monsters that only spawn during the nights don't despawn when it becomes morning. Oh my gosh, this was driving me crazy when we were in the swamps and then all of a sudden day wraiths. And I'm like, oh, this is not okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Then that affected all the biomes if they have any biome that had a mob that spawned at night.
Yeah. So any of the biomes, that was interesting. And then black marble bench table use wooden instead of stone sounds when deconstructed. Okay, that's an easy. But yeah, they fixed that.
Well, right, it does feel weird if you're looking at something that looks like stone and you hear it break like wood.
I have to say that it always throws me when you break the fermenters and they make the sound that's the stone break sound rather than a wooden break sound. That always throws me off.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
That just shows how important. I mean, even when we were making movies, I try to, like, if I'm ever like teaching the subject to anybody, sound and music they're just as important as what you're seeing. If it doesn't sound right, it's going to feel weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
So known issues not yet fixed.
Yeah. Stones and ground can appear inside Dvergar locations. Okay, so when things, that's going to be a tricky one to fix.
I guess the location that spawns in there on map generation isn't quite clearing the area and smoothing it out enough.
Yeah, okay. Location music keeps looping even though continuous music is disabled.
Oh, that would be annoying if for those people who
Yeah.
don't want continuous music.
Have you? Is it just me? Have I just always had the music turned down for forever? But is there a different music sound for when you enter the trader, or has there always been that sort of like cute, upbeat tavern music inside when you go talk to the trader?
Yeah, at some point a while back, they added a couple of little sound effects to like finding ruins, finding a troll cave, just walking near it, and they must have added one for Haldor at some point. I don't know.
Love it. I love it. I noticed it the other night and I was like, oh, I love this. This is so happy.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Fire staff mid-jump casting animation bug.
So why you jump and cast?
I guess. All right. What's the next one?
Skull and Haiti. Idle animation acting weird. That's the new two-handed daggers. One is like shaped like a sickle, and the other one is a dagger, and you attack with both hands. And I noticed it too. I wonder if it's the same one. When you're holding them, your character stands there for a second, so it's like this, and then it just glitches, and then it just stands there, like normal, and then it glitches every once in a while. It just does this weird little glitch. If that's the same one they're referring to. Probably.
That sounds about right. Some items are not set correctly on horizontal item stands.
Hopefully that's just new things. Hopefully whatever they did didn't affect.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Looking at the images, it is new things.
Okay.
Yeah. They're just like sinking deeper into the item stand than they should, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
All right.
And next one is stutter while playing in Mistlands client. Happens anywhere in game.
Oh, like a stuttering.
I wonder if that's the stutter I was talking about. Because I would just notice the character was normal for a while, and then it would just stutter, like the whole glitch all of a sudden. What's this next? Oh, the last one here.
Edges of cultivated and leveled patches from pre-PTB worlds produce parts of land that can't be cultivated anymore. Okay, so that's a different cultivator bug.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the images are real interesting.
Oh, yeah, let's see. There are some images here, aren't there? Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Look at that. That looks like a mess.
A little bit, yeah. So well, cool. So, I mean, to me, what do you think? That looks like a week and a half of bug fixes.
Oh, yeah. I think we're still 2 weeks out.
2 weeks out sounds about right. Because like some of those look like they might be a little bit hard to figure out how to fix it.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that they're going to go on holiday vacation sometime towards the middle of December, and for the holidays, and I'm pretty sure they'll launch before they send their whole team on holidays.
Yeah.
I'd hate to see them have to delay their holiday or even the launch. Because of bugs.
Either direction, yeah.
I mean, that would be sad.
I totally respect their desire to, fix all the things and have like a really good, smooth release. And in all honesty, if they've got a couple of bugs that they can patch when they get back from vacation, I would much rather have the Mistlands drop before the Christmas break than next year.
Well, the only thing I saw in here that was really game breaking was the fish, not being able to pick up the fish. That kills the whole profession, right? Fishing and making foods with that. But they've already fixed that. It's on the fix. Everything else, it seems like they can get to it whenever they get to it. So if this is the whole list, then I think we're fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a little bit more, but like I love that they're being so transparent about this. I think it's just really a good notch in their favor.
Yeah. Yeah, well, transparency requires, as we're learning to just running our own servers and posting updates to our modded server and everything else that's going on. Transparency isn't about not wanting to be transparent. It's about manpower. It's about just having, people available to, in addition to fixing a thing, to also take time to go and publish those fixes to the players or, asking for feedback. And it just takes time and manpower, and they have a larger staff now. So it seems like they're able to do some more things than what they were able to do, in early access. So yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And just to clarify for the cultivator in the Mistlands, when you're using the cultivator on the grassy area and you can, cultivate the ground, you can return it to grass. It's just on the hardened solid stone areas that you can't restore it back to that if you've been pickaxing the area.
Yeah, there's like 2 ground textures in the Mistlands. One is just like green and grassy, and then the other one is sort of black. It looks like stone, and it's got like green cracks in it, but it's actually like a dirt. You can still mine into it.
Yeah.
But
and you just get stone out of it.
You can't cultivate on that stuff. I was trying.
Yeah.
So, well, cool. Good stuff. I'm excited. Hopefully it'll come out here soon, and then more people can get to experience all the fun that those of us who are digging into the test branch are experiencing and oohing and awing at. Cool. Well, I think that's going to do it this week. Thanks so much for joining me, Morning Darkness.
Yeah, my pleasure.
That's it for now. Have fun out there.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Podheim, Jiroc's Valheim podcast. We have new episodes coming out every Friday, and if you enjoyed listening, please support us by subscribing to the podcast on your favorite platform and leave us a rating and a review to help more Vikings find us. We also have a Patreon with perks for supporters like behind-the-scenes discussions, exclusive content, and segments that are edited out of the main podcast. And if you'd like to join our friendly Discord community, we have more than 1,000 people there. Just go to discord.gg/Jiroc the Viking. If you'd like to play on my Valheim servers, just go to my website at jiroctheviking.com and submit an application. I'd like to give a huge shout out to my supporters, some of them on Patreon, the YouTube membership, and the ones who help boost our Discord server. Your support means the world to me and inspires me to make more videos, as well as run a community Discord and multiple Valheim gaming servers. If you enjoy my videos and would like to support my work, join our friendly Discord community and Valheim servers. Links can be found in the description below. Skål!